Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Hassan Mahmoud. I'm a student at OUM, Open University Malaysia. I'm doing my master's in project management. I would like to present here the group assignment for the project management course unit with the group members, starting Muhammad Hassan Mahmoud, Muhammad Alas Mahmoud, Jibril Jama Rafle, and Samia Muhammad Abdullah. Our assignment is about water and sanitation, especially improving access water and sanitation in rural areas in Somalia. This document is a summary of the project Environmental and Social Management Plan (ESMP) of the improving access to water and sanitation in rural areas in Somalia. The project is categorized by the African Development Bank. This summary was written by two projects were released in compliance with AFDB criteria and procedures. The Card Development Society organization is registered with the federal government of Somalia as a non-governmental, religious, non-religious, non-political, and non-profit organization. It was launched on 1st January 2009. CA has shifted from operating a small office in Johor to expand our investment in the most accessible areas south and central of Somalia: Hirshabelle State, Galmudug State, South-West State, and Banaadir head office in Muqadisha. Since then, our program have grown to include nutrition, food security, livelihood, sanitation and health, and education, sexual orientation, human rights, transparency, and accountability. CA applies partners with the leading humanitarians such as United Nations Children's Fund (UNICEF), World Food Programme (WFP), and Office of the United Nations Office for the Coordination and Humanitarian Affairs (UNOCHA), Food and Agriculture Organization (FAO), and African Development Bank (CARE International), and MES Corps USA. CA aspires to eradicate life-threatening famine and eradicate rural poverty and achieving a more stable and inclusive life for all Somalis. CA provides access to appropriate education and capacity building awareness of gender development. Core values: volunteerism, commitment, accountability, and transparency working together. Activities of the organization: nutrition, food security and livelihood, water, sanitation, and hygiene wash. Our main topic here is water, sanitation, and hygiene. The WASH initiative aims to provide clean and potable water to Somali's most disadvantaged populations, as well as access to water for pastoralists and agro-pastoralists, animals and crops, particularly in IDP camps. The project will cover 4 federal member states and 11 rural areas in Lower Shabelle region, Afgoye and Walaweyn, Middle Shabelle District Bal'ad and Johor, Lower Juba region, Kismaayo and Afmadow, Hiiraan region, Plateau, also in Hobyo and Adado in Mudug and Galmudug, and Dolo and Lok in Geda region, to develop and rehabilitate 10 water sources, placing 65 water system scales, regulating 15 strategic boreholes, and building 15 waters at once. The overall aim of the project is to improve access to water and sanitation services in suburbs and rural areas of Somalia and contribute to reducing infant mortality under the age of 5 caused by the wash-related diseases. The specific objectives of the project is to provide a system that describes the actions performed to be adopted by the federal government of Somalia through international migration organization and appropriate service to promote positive impact and to avoid, reduce, minimize, compensate, remove negative impact, access to water and sanitation in rural areas, Somalia. The project summary. Project title is Improving Access to Water and Sanitation in Rural Areas in Somalia. Project target areas Afgoye, Walaweyn, Balcad, Jowhar, Kismayo, Afmadow, Beledweyne, Cadaado, Hobyo, Dolo, and Luq. The implementing partner, Kah Development Society Organization. Project duration is going to be 12 months. The total budget of the project is $251,900. Somalia is a water-scarce country and there is a variation in the water sources. For example, much of the northeast depends on the groundwater. Also in the south, the most people depend the water from the rivers. It is estimated that only 31% of the population in the northwest of the country has access to safe drinking water, compared to 19% in the northeast and 20% in the southern part of the country, by UNICEF and WHO 2014 report. The recently established Federal Ministry of Energy and Water Resources is the only institution with a mandate to provide the oversight and enforcement, but it lacks the human capacity and resources needed to undertake the mandate. The approach taken by the proposed water infrastructure and rehabilitation projects aims to address most of the gaps through the development of policy for the sector. Thank you guys. I want to thank here my lecturers, the Simad graduate studies for participating this program, also the OUM team. I want to thank also my group members, Mohammed Alas, Jibril Rafre, and Samia Mohammed Abdullah. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Muhammad Alas Mahmoud. I'm one of the students of OUM University and I'm from Somalia. I'm going here to record project management assignment. My topic is work breakdown structure of the project WBS. Work breakdown structure WBS is a deliverable oriented hierarchical decomposition of the work to be carried out by the project team in order to achieve the project objectives and produce the required deliverables. A work breakdown structure WBS is essential for successful project planning, execution, control, monitoring, and reporting. The WBS work must be identified, estimated, scheduled, and budgeted in its whole. And our work breakdown structure, our topic is about improving access to water and sanitation in rural areas of Somalia. We divided our task into 4 task A, task B, task C, task D. Task A is talking about district level meeting. Task B, fundraising or fund seeking. Task C, beneficiary registration. Task D, distribution. Subtask A1, district commissioners. 2, traditional elders. 3, household beneficiary. Task B, subtask B1, donors. 2, local philanthropists. 3, government. 4, companies. Task C, subtask C1, lower Shabelle. 5, water sources. 2, middle Shabelle. 5, water boreholes. 3, lower Chupa. 8, boreholes. 4, Hiran 9, water sources. Task C5, Galmudug 5, water wells. And 6, Gil 25, water scale system. Number D. Subtask D1, water pipelines. 2, water tanks. 3, tools for carrying pipelines. 4, cleaning tools. 5, car furnace for water transportation. Critical path methods, CPM, or critical path analysis, CPA. The process of determining the longest path in the schedule network diagram is known as critical path analysis. The analysis determines the degree of schedule and flexibility as well as the completeness of the project schedule. Furthermore, critical path analysis provides the shortest time needed to complete the project. The link between project activities also is specified through critical path analysis. It's critical to understand that not all activities can begin and end on time. As the result, critical path analysis establishes the maximum amount of time that activities that are not in critical path to be delivered. As a result, schedule flexibility refers to the amount of time that can be delayed without affecting the project's completion date. This is the calculation of total flight, total free flight, total flight equal late finish minus early finish, or late start minus early start. Total free flight is equal early start minus early finish. This is the activity predecessor duration. Activity A, it has no predecessor and its duration is 10 weeks. B, its predecessor is A and its duration is 8 weeks. Number C, its predecessor is B and duration is 10 weeks. D, its predecessor is C and its duration is 1 weeks. Indeed, the calculation shown that the project's greatest duration will be 34 weeks, while the lowest timeline would be 30 weeks, as shown above. KAI's project schedule management. KAI's project schedule management. A schedule is a list of events or tasks, as well as the times when they should occur or be completed. Schedule definition. And the list of activities, deliverables, and milestones within the project is referred to as scheduling in project management. And time usually includes a schedule, a start and finish date, as well as the duration of each activity and resources allocated to it. Effective project scheduling is a key component of time management success. KAI's project schedule, the improving access to water and rural areas in Somalia. Date of start is June 20 and it ends June 21. Prepared by KAH, submitted by African Development bank. And district level meeting is the first task, and its duration is 10 weeks, and it starts 1st June and ends 15 August 1. Fund seeking or fundraising 8 weeks, 16 August and 20, and ends 15 15 August 20. Beneficiary registration 10 weeks, and it is due date is 16 October 2020, and it is target date is 31 December 2020. And resource names is district commissioners as traditional elders, households, donors, local philanthropists, government, Lower Shabelle region, district distribution, Lower Shabelle region, Middle Shabelle, Lower Chupa, Hiran, and also so. This is the end of my talk. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone, I'm greeting all of you, especially my lecturers, my universities and my colleagues. First of all, my name is Jibril Chama Rafle and a student of Open University Malaysia doing my master program in project management, and I'm in my semester 1. This is my presentation. As they do my colleagues previous, this is my part and I will present it. I'm talking about today is project cost management, and we are going to talk and explain deeply how the project cost management can operate when we are going or when we are doing my projects or when you are doing your project. First of all, we're talking about what is project cost, or how we the project cost is the total funds required to execute the project or work, which includes both direct and indirect cost. The project costs are any expenditure made or expected to be made, or monetary obligations incurred or expected to be incurred to finish the project that are specified in a project baseline are considered project expenses. Okay, the project cost has two tables, and when we are in this our presentation, direct cost and indirect cost. Direct cost is a price that is directly related to the production of a certain good or service. A direct cost can be linked to a cost object such as a service, product, or development. Direct costs are frequently variable costs, which means fluctuate with production level like inventory. Indirect costs are costs that help the company's operation but are difficult to link to a specific initiative. The process of planning, estimating, budgeting, and controlling budget expenses is known as cost management in project management. While cost management is seen as a continuous process, it is easier to break it down into four types: resource planning, estimating, budgeting, and controlling. Okay, already now we are we are going to explain how we allocate activity and budget. And this is the following. Activity 1 is developing and rehabilitate 10 water sources. And the budget that we allocated is, the cost that we allocated is 28 and 600 US dollar. The next activity is rehabilitating 15 strategic borehole, and we allocated it 93,500 US dollar. The third one is building 15 waters of one sanitation facilities in schools, markets, and health, and the use of total leading community sanitation and hygiene awareness. This activity we have allocated it 39,600 US dollars. The fourth activity is purchasing land, cleaning tools, and equipment, and we allocated it 39,600 US dollars. Thanks to all of you, and I appreciate the University of Open University of Malaysia and the Center of Simad Graduate Studies that has facilitated us to utilize this program. And also I thank to my mentors in this center, and also I thank to my colleagues Muhammad, Alas, Samia, and Muhammad Mahmoud. Thank you for you having me. Thanks.
My name is Samia. I'm presenting project procurement management. Project procurement management refers to the procedures for purchasing or obtaining products, services, or resources from sources outside the project team. Procurement management skills can help a project in a variety of ways. I've listed down some of them. Um, It assists in identifying the items and services that must be bought in order for project to be completed successfully. Provides vendors with a complete record of purchasing, purchase orders and related issues. It specifies agreed upon delivery dates and methods assists in the evaluation and procurement of goods and services from the suppliers. It verifies the contract milestone for suppliers and approves their payment. It serves as a point of reference for comparing suppliers' performance to the contract. It aids in identifying and resolving concerns with the supplier performance. It serves as communication route for urban management to get project updates. Car project procurement process is um, project procurement management process establishes partnership between an organization, purchasing department, and external suppliers in order to purchase, receive, review, approve, and all procurement items required for the project execution. Contractual ties with suppliers are managed. The process is designed to assure timely delivery of purchase quantities that have chosen and obtained in accordance with the specification and required established by the purchasing department and approved by the project manager. Um, plan procurement management Plan procurement management conducts procurement control procurement and control procurement are the three stages of procurement management process. Um, car Plan procurement management includes purchasing various sources of water well equipped from Somali trader who imports such foreign goods from other countries, purchases water tanks from local entrepreneurs to make it easier for locals to receive water. Pipeline are being purchased. uh, Caravanes can be purchased from local imports. Recruiting and establishing system to transport all of the commodities that are available, obtaining authorization approval from the organization that supply the funds, and contacting administrative figures involved in the security and harmony of these regions, such as governmental forces and opposing armed groups as described above. And the second process is conduct procurement process. Conduct procurement is the second step in the procurement management process. During this process, responses from various vendors are gathered. An effective seller is chosen from among them, and a contract is made. This approach is repeated at regular intervals during the project to aid in the identification of competent vendors and the subsequent establishment of legal agreement of delivery process. From this point forward, CAR will issue tenders and the proposal to potential suppliers in order to give them um, a chance to win contracts with the suppliers and the other local vendors. CAR will agree on payment options. CAR also takes into account sellers or traders who are consistently import and sell high quality goods. However, prior to the start of the job, car has will have a contract with the sellers. Contractors preferably are a definite that flows a conventional procedures such as contractual terms of negotiation conditions, cost, and a timeline. The administrative procurement is the process that is responsible for keeping track of the vendor's performance and ensuring that all contract conditions are met. This process also oversees the procurement relationship as a whole, making necessary modification and correction. And let's say Kim Handman. And as a result, CAR will, CAR will consider any contract revisions to be done explicitly in writing. Contract sellers should be commended in for efficiently delivering agreed upon required items to the various product locations where flood affected farming families are present. The sellers shall be responsible for contract withdrawal from the offer unless any contractual terms are not met. Reviewing invoices, completing integrated change control, documenting every record, managing changes, authorization payments to sellers, interpreting what is not in the contract, resolving disputes, controlling quality performance reports, and monitoring cost schedule and performance against the contract are some of the specific action CAR will undertake while administering procurement. And the last process is the procurement, closing procurement. Procurement is the process of procuring products, services, or employment from the third party. A project phase is a group of logical related to project activities that culminate in the delivery of one or more deliverable. The process of finishing each procurement is known as close procurement. The contract closing procurement is also known as close procurement process. It aids in the completion of project or phase when the contract deadline is met and the contract is ended. Procurement is considered to have closed. As a result, one of the project distribution activities are completed. CAR closes the contract for developing and rehabilitation water sources, rehabilitation strategic boreholes, building water and sanitation facilities in schools, markets, and health. and the use of total leading community sanitation and hygiene awareness and all other aspects of the project. We have reached the conclusion. This project was based on one of the car organization and humanitarian project which was supported by the African Development Bank. This initiative was implemented in four Somali federal government member states and 11 states in Low Shabelle, Middle Shabelle, Low Juba, Middle Juba, Galgaduud, Hiiraan, Mudug, Gedo regions and South and Central Somalia. A project that utilizes the framework for effective engaging with the stakeholders and efficient allocating work among project participants. The project charters crucial aspects of every project since it acknowledges the project existence and allows the project manager to begin work on it. Since the demise of the international recognition military or dictatorship commanded by Siad Barre ruled by the Somali country for 20 years after taking the power by force on 21st October in 1979. Things had fallen apart. Most of the inhabitants of productive regions in southern and central Somalia have become sus- susceptible for recurrent destructive water scarce that sometimes driving them to remain in demoralization. Flood affected farmers needed prompt humanitarian aid in order to resume up their farms occupation. International relief organizations like African Development Bank provided various water tanks and essential for the corn cultivation. Okay, this is the conclusion of our project presentation presented by our group. Thank you for your consideration and the listening. Um, bye bye. Have a good day.